Welcome back to the Dethroning Your Inner Critic YouTube channel, where you can learn how to stop the self-sabotaging voice in your head from getting in the way of living your most empowered and abundant life. I'm psychotherapist and best-selling author Joanna Kleinman, and today I want to talk to you about inner self-care. Now, what I mean by practicing inner self-care is that we're learning how to shift into a higher level of our conscious mind. So the only way to break free from the constraints of our fear and worry and self-doubt is really to practice inner self-care. And inner self-care is really the secret to getting anything we want in life. Better results in your business or your career, a better relationship, more peace and joy in your life, becoming a better parent. Any part of your life that you're wanting to transform begins with inner self-care, because the reason why you're not living the life you really want to be living, if you're not producing the results you want in your business, maybe you're not in a fulfilling relationship, maybe you're not at the level of health you want to be at, consider that the way that you're experiencing your life is that you're believing that in order to feel happy, content, fulfilled, that there are certain things that you need. Either you need for some circumstance to be different, or you wish that something in your past were different, or you need something in your future to be different. So when you're focused on what you think you need in order to feel that sense of happiness and joy and fulfillment, you are living a conditional life. In other words, you need for your conditions to change before you can feel the way that you want to feel. So you might spend a lot of time and energy fighting with the thoughts in your mind. Or maybe you spend a lot of time and energy listening to the thoughts in your mind. Whether you're fighting with those thoughts and emotions or you're being swallowed by them, it's your automatic mind that has a hold on you. So inner self-care is really the gateway to understand how to experience joy, fulfillment, happiness, peace, without depending on the outside world to change. And the irony is that once you know how to practice inner self-care to experience that joy and fulfillment and peace right now, that's when your life will start to shift. Now, I know this sounds like a really impossible task to understand, how to no longer have your peace and joy and contentment be impacted when certain conditions in your life aren't going the way that you want them to. But that is exactly what the practice of inner self-care is all about. See, when you're not practicing inner self-care, now your life is just governed by the over 60,000 automatic thoughts that swim through your mind every single day. And no matter how hard you try, you can't change the automatic thoughts in your mind and the emotions that those thoughts generate. So inner self-care is the practice of becoming aware of the thoughts and emotions that seem to be lurking in the corners of your mind that are really the cause of all of your disturbance. So instead of fighting with those thoughts or listening to those thoughts and identifying with them, what if you could step back and just observe those thoughts as separate from who you really are? See, most people don't understand that it's never the circumstances of our lives that cause our inner disturbance. It's actually identifying with those thoughts that play on a repetitive loop for most of your day. So inner self-care is developing the muscle to separate yourself from those automatic and repetitive thoughts. And when you are actually separate from those thoughts, now you get to consciously and deliberately choose what thoughts you're going to empower instead of being controlled by your automatic mind, like a feather being controlled by the wind. So inner self-care isn't about changing your thoughts. It's about being aware of your automatic mind and the thoughts and emotions that your automatic mind generates, and no longer being swallowed by them. So you don't have to do something about the thoughts and emotions. Inner self-care is observing what's going on inside your mind and inside your heart instead of fighting to change it. See, when you try to protect yourself from being disturbed, upset, angry, worried, sad, anxious, by getting rid of the thoughts and emotions, that is actually what causes more inner disturbance. So the practice of inner self-care allows you to experience your joy and peace and happiness without depending on the outside world for those experiences. So here's what changes when you practice inner self-care. First of all, as you learn to unhook yourself from your automatic thoughts and emotions, you're tapping into your conscious mind rather than being hijacked by your automatic mind. So you start to slowly release and let go of the anger, the pain, the inner disturbance that you once clung to when someone or something doesn't fit your picture of the way you think it's supposed to be, right? And so because you're no longer clinging to that inner disturbance, your energy softens, which actually has people want to spend more time with you and want to be around you more because you have a softer energy that you emanate into the world, right? Now, the second thing that happens is that you practice taking full responsibility for your own thoughts and emotions, right? And that is exactly why your life looks the way that it does right now, because of your current thoughts and emotions. So you stop blaming other people for your pain. See, your automatic mind is always focused on either the past, which is dead, or the future that's only in your imagination because it hasn't happened yet. So if you pay attention to your inner life, you begin to realize that all of your inner disturbance is either from focusing on something that you're holding on to from the past or something that you're worried about in the future. So by practicing observing your automatic thoughts and emotions, you learn to close the door on your past. You stop dragging your past with you into your future. And this allows you to make a conscious choice about the thoughts and emotions that you choose to empower. Now, the third thing that happens from inner self-care is that you realize the most important truth. If you want to be successful and fulfilled in your life, you understand that the quality of your life comes from within yourself. It doesn't come from out there. You see that you are actually completely capable of creating the life you want to live. That life, whether it's in your personal life, your professional life, maybe a combination of both, it really depends on the actions you take. And you can either take actions that align with fear and doubt and worry and discontentment and unhappiness, or you can take actions that align with courage and boldness and confidence and peace. Now, actions rooted in fear and doubt will give you one quality of life, whereas actions rooted in courage and confidence and trusting the flow of life will give you a very different quality of life. So the fourth thing that happens with inner self-care is that you slow down and spend quiet time with yourself rather than thinking you have to be productive every minute. When you take the time to practice inner self-care, you're no longer afraid of what obstacles or bumps in the road you might face. You're more able to take life as it comes instead of trying to control the speed and the direction of the unfolding of your life. And the fifth thing that happens when you practice inner self-care, you're practicing self-love. You're making yourself a priority. Now, this allows you not to dwell on your imperfections, but actually to celebrate them, because you can see your personal imperfections, the parts of your life that aren't perfect, as the beautiful opportunity to practice growing and evolving and transforming. So taking the time to explore the inner workings of your mind is actually what transforms the person that you've always thought yourself to be. It is looking at your inner life that actually has you stepping into becoming somebody else. So if you're not practicing inner self-care, this is how you stay stuck in self-doubt. You stay stuck in fearing rejection or failure or not being good enough to have the life that you really want to design. So the most effective ways to practice self-care is through the practice of meditation or journaling or a combination of both. But without taking the time to practice inner self-care, it's really hard to change because you don't take the actions that will change your life. You stay in relationships that don't serve you. You stay in careers that are dissatisfying. You hope that something or someone will change so that you can finally feel the way that you want to feel. And there are a lot of very smart and accomplished people who are not practicing inner self-care. They might be achieving their goals, but without inner self-care, no matter what goals they reach, they might continue to feel unfulfilled and uninspired and stuck, even if on the outside, they're achieving all that they thought would bring them the fulfillment and the joy and the contentment that they've craved for so long. So most people are focused on the external world because we're led to believe that that's the way to avoid the inner feelings that might cause us pain. If I can get all of the things in my life to go the way that they're supposed to go, if I can get the relationship, the career, the money in the bank, if I can write that book, if I can create that successful business, I can avoid feeling like I'm not good enough or smart enough or lovable enough, or that in some way I've failed in my life. Now, the world tells you that you need something outside of yourself. And once you get that, that's when you'll finally feel joy and peace and fulfillment. But in reality, it all starts from within. So taking the time to observe your automatic mind is the most important self-care you can ever practice, right? Because now you're able to create the space between you and your automatic mind. And when you create that space, that's when you can unhook yourself from your automatic mind. And over time, the practice of inner self-care will actually create a new rewired mind that allows you to access different thoughts, different emotions, and take different actions that over time will design a different life. You stop caring so much about what other people think. You stop trying to find your value and worthiness from the world around you. And instead, you know how to find it from within. So for more videos that help you learn how to rewire a new mind and design a life you love, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.